28% girls aged 15 to 19 in Sierra Leone have experienced pregnancy, according to UNFPA reports 2023. And then 21.6% of sexually active youth are using modern contraception. Less than 30% of schools in rural areas provide comprehensive sexual education. In September 2024, Youth Partnership for Peace and Development, YPPD, in partnership with Amref Health Africa, YACT, with support from Comic Relief, kickstarted a groundbreaking project implementation of the Empowering Youth for Effective Sexual and Reproductive Health and Rights Advocacy and Policy Engagement in Freetown, Sierra Leone. The project aims at harnessing Sierra Leonean youths to advance their SIHR agenda through advocacy and meaningful youth engagement with their policymaker. In September 2024, when we started the implementation, the full-blown implementation of this project, our first activity as a coalition led by Youth Partnership for Peace and Development, which is YPPD, was to pay a courtesy visit to the Ministry of Basic Senior Secondary Education, because it was the line ministry that we are going to implement fully with this project. We had to visit the ministry. The Directorate of Research and Curriculum welcomed us. In that meeting, we had implementation plans together, policy alignment of what? CAHLS, because our overarching goal is to see how we roll out CAHLS into 2 districts. So CAHLS is Child and Adolescent Health and Life Skills. And the ministry that have this curriculum is the Ministry of Basic Senior Secondary Education. The director in charge is the Director of Curriculum and Research. In that meeting, what came out was how we will together foster collaboration, dialogue on the idea around to raise awareness on SIHR for young people, especially looking at the population is high with young people. Former, it was comprehensive sexuality education. We want to see how we can raise awareness of young people on it. And also, CAHLS has emerged as an effective method for sexual health education. So the school will be identified as the ideal or the fitting place where you can roll it out, where you can implement it. Another importance of CAHLS is that it's a holistic and a very participatory framework or curriculum. In nature, it is very participatory because it endeavors to develop the attitudes of young people, teach them life skills that will last them through lifelong futuristic experiences, and also it will enhance their knowledge, give them the necessary skills as learner for those in schools, and those out of school. It will help secure them the informed idea that they will make decisions on their sexual and reproductive health and rights. As a coalition, YACT Sierra Leone SIHR Youth-led Coalition, the next activity that we did, having paid the visit, was a training of coalition members on child, adolescent health and life skills, which is CAHLS, and we also did media advocacy training. So what came out of our engagement, our previous engagement with the ministry, was we established a common ground with them, that is the MBSSC, the Directorate of Curriculum and Research, that the projects we are going to embark on, we need coalition members to be au fait with this curriculum. This curriculum has been designed by them, so we cannot effectively advocate for SIHR or implement CAHLS without having the first-hand knowledge on how we go about our advocacy, especially when it has to come to the media. So the Directorate of Curriculum and Research provided us, supported this training. They give us the requisite skills, knowledge, learning sessions that we needed in order to enhance our advocacy on this project. So The training brought together or targeted 2 members per organization. We are a coalition of 12 member organizations that are working on sexual reproductive health and rights for young people, SRHR. So 2 per organization attended, and we didn't only get the knowledge, we were certified with certificates. Our third activity was a very unique initiative that was introduced to us by YACT. So we call it the MYE, which is the Meaningful Youth Engagement. So as a coalition, we conducted that activity. And how did it go about? It's an initiative that brings together young people and their policymakers. Together they will discuss, they score each other, they have a scorecard, score each other contributions, and this activity or this engagement was used as a baseline for our project. So this engagement provided the opportunity for young people to actually assess, they have to assess policymakers' actions on SRHR that affect young people. The number 4 activity that we implemented in 2024 was commemoration of World Days. Like for the first day that we commemorate, that we observed, was World Contraception Day. Here, coalition members went to the media, we did media advocacy, both radio and television, engage audience, tell young people all around the world that were listening about the importance of contraception for their reproductive health. And also we had an intergenerational dialogue on that very day to commemorate World Contraception Day, which was September 26th last year, 2024. We brought in community leaders, both religious leaders, imam, pastors, parents, health workers, and young people. Coalition members were part of that dialogue session that we had, the intergenerational dialogue. We sit together, discuss how holistically a whole society approach, we all can put hands together to support young people to take contraceptions, or to the importance of contraceptions for their health and well-being. Our engagement as a coalition on the project Empowering Youth for Effective SRHR Advocacy and Policy Engagement have recorded major changes around SRHR. So what we achieved was that we increased the focus on the acceleration of the adoption of CAHLS into school curriculum as a standalone subject. CAHLS is being incorporated into 7 different subjects. When we engage the Ministry of Basic Senior Secondary Education, we stress and emphasize that it's advisable for it to be a standalone subject. Another change that we effect was the increase of knowledge of coalition members on CAHLS. So coalition members are now au fait, they have the information, the knowledge on how to engage the media, engage schools, engage whosoever, whether young people or policymakers, about CAHLS. We further had a major change that is enhance the level of youths and stakeholders on SRHR engagement. Because of our project, now young people with stakeholders, with policymakers discuss SRHR, and it's not a problem, it's no more a taboo. We also increase knowledge of contraceptive methods, the benefits, the importance, and also accessibility among youths, especially young adolescent girls or young women. We also simplified, as a coalition, we simplified CAHLS as a curriculum. We had a abridged version of CAHLS.